back to winning isn't easy. I'm often asked, should I or my lawyer hire a consultative doctor in my Social Security disability claim? And I'm asked that question in the context of an ERISA disability claim. And the answer is maybe. Obtaining, in my view, a favorable residual functional capacity form from your treating physician is preferable to hiring a one-time consultative doctor. And the reason is that the Social Security Administration does not necessarily place a lot of weight on a one-time consultative exam. But there are many times that I will recommend a consultative doctor, not only in the context of our Social Security case, but in an ERISA case. And the situations are pretty similar. I may want a consultative exam to corroborate and support the treating physician's conclusions. I may want that consultative doctor to clarify or address issues in difficult or complex medical conditions like POTS, chronic fatigue, COVID, complications, or rare disease. Now, because I represent people in both short and long-term and Social Security case, I'm using these reports interchangeably. And I will take, in the context of the ERISA case, the questions that I see arise in the context of their peer review reports or IMEs. And at the same time, I'm looking at the consultative medical exam reports of DDS people. And I want my IME or my consultative physician to address the issues that arise in both cases, because I want to kill two birds with one stone. As I've said, there is nothing in the Social Security regulations that allow a judge to give a consultative doctor's opinion less weight than a treating physician just because I may hire them. But there are some there's some judges who just aren't going to do that. They're going to give more weight to the state agency doctor because they're looking for a reason to justify a claims denial. And the same reasoning holds true in the context of an ERISA disability claim. So the issue of whether or not you should get a consultative exam, an IME exam, or even a functional capacity evaluation will depend on the facts and the issues in both the Social Security claim and the ERISA claim. Should my Social Security attorney hire a vocational expert before my hearing? And as a matter of course, I would say to you, no, unless we are using a vocational expert in the context of a short or long-term disability case. We are required under Social Security rules to provide the Social Security Administration and the judge all relevant documentation, including a vocational expert opinion. And I am legally obligated to do that regardless of whether it's good or bad. Now, I will tell you, when I do it in the context of my ERISA cases and Social Security cases, I am generally at the own occupation stage. And so my VE is addressing the ability to do past work for their own occupation. And we're not really addressing other work, the other work standard in Social Security or other occupation standard. I have found that the vocational report can be helpful if the earlier Social Security denials have been predicated on a state agency finding that you've performed your past work in a manner that the Social Security Administration has misconstrued. And that also holds true in the context of an ERISA disability claim. While the Social Security standard is for the VE to consider the work that you've done in the 15 years before you became disabled, and by the way, there's a proposal to change it to 5 years, that's not the standard in the context of an ERISA case. They'll go back to jobs you held from college on. And so generally, I am just taking the VE report that I have in the context of my short or long-term disability case and submitting it as part of my Social Security appeal. And of course, remember, at step 5, age is a factor, not necessarily a factor in the ERISA disability cases. So if I get a case and I am dealing with both a Social Security claim and I'm at the any occupation stage in an ERISA claim, I'm asking the VE to address age and then to address it without age as a factor, because I don't want the ERISA carrier to seize on the VE said that they were disabled in part because of their age, and that's not a factor in the context of the ERISA case. So again, it depends on the facts of your case and where we're at in terms of a long-term disability case. Are we at the ONOC stage or any occupation stage? I'm often asked, you were successful. We got a favorable Social Security decision. When on earth can I expect to be paid? You have probably waited forever to get that Social Security decision. You've robbed Peter to pay Paul. You're in debt to your relatives. You're hanging on by a thread. Well, it normally takes about 2 months for the back benefits to be paid and the monthly benefits to begin in a Social Security case where there's no SSI application. If we've got SSI, which we generally don't, well, if we do have SSI, it's going to take longer because there's lots of math. And I will tell you that the Social Security Administration will not talk to a Social Security lawyer about all these calculations. If you've been receiving workers' comp, I will tell you that's going to take even longer because Social Security can offset workers' comp, as can the disability carrier. So these offsets will go back and forth. And that's important in the context of your ERISA case because you generally have an affirmative obligation to tell them that you've got the benefits. And of course, then they're going to say, you've been overpaid, pay us back and pay us back today. And by the way, we're denying our claim. If that happens, you certainly should be consulting with an experienced ERISA disability attorney. Generally, if you haven't been paid your Social Security benefits within 90 days of the date of the decision, you should contact your local office. If that doesn't work, you can try to contact the payment center. We'll call and leave messages and never hear from them. And either way, it could be a longer wait that you want. And if it's, more than 90 days, contact your local congressman and have them intervene. I hope you have enjoyed this week's episode of Winning Isn't Easy. Please like our page, leave a review, share it with your family and friends, and please subscribe to this podcast. That way you'll get notified every time a new episode comes out. I hope you tune in next week for another insightful episode of Winning Isn't Easy.
Professional with questions about your individual disability policy? You need the Disability Insurance Claim Survival Guide for Professionals. This book gives you a comprehensive understanding of your disability policy with tips and to-dos regarding your disability application that will assist you in submitting a winning disability application. This is one you won't want to miss. For the next 24 hours, we are giving away free copies of the Disability Insurance Claim Survival Guide for Professionals. Order yours today at disabilityclaimsforprofessionals.com.